Hey guys, this is Dr. Joe Borio with this week's Thought Flash. Got some great exciting news. May 13th and 14th, Philadelphia. Myself, Dr. Pete Lombardi, and Dr. Tom Culleton, functional neurologist, is going to be there. Talk about science on chiropractic. It's going to be unbelievable information, scientific validation of what it is you do. Every time I listen to this guy, I learn something. He's going to talk about the adjustment. He's going to talk about how powerful the adjustment is. And when I say that, philosophically, yes, but scientifically, the proprioceptors, the mechanical receptors, the spinal tracts that are affected, the cranial areas that are affected, the cerebrum, the cerebellum, cerebral spinal fluid. Unbelievable great stuff about how powerful, how exciting, how awesome it is what we do and that sacred trust that has been bestowed upon us. So great stuff. Hopefully I'll see you there. But getting started in today's topic, great time with Easter, talking about new beginning, talking about resurrection. It's a great time to kind of carry in that same theme into your practice. And one of the ways to do that is your office meetings. I talk to a lot of staff and I talk to a lot of doctors, chiropractors along the country, and those that are clients and those that are thinking about becoming clients. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of offices that don't do office meetings. And office meetings are your way to communicate to your staff and a way for your staff to communicate to you. I'll tell you, a lot of times there's resentment, there's staff that feels unappreciated, there's patients that feel unappreciated. Hell, you might feel unappreciated or unrecognized and so forth. And an office meeting is a way to come together as a team, as a staff, to talk about issues in the office, to diffuse something that might potentially become a major issue in the office. It's also a great time to just come together, some camaraderie, to join together and discuss different aspects of the office. It's a great time to discuss what went great in the office and how wonderful people are doing. You know, so often we tend to manage by criticism, and we forget that you know, there's a lot of wonderful staff that is in your office that you forget to show your appreciation with until they leave or until there's somebody that feels disgruntled. So that's really important. Also, there's a way to make your staff feel part of your mission, part of your dream in building your dream practice. And that I'm going to share that with you right now. And then there's training. In other words, getting your staff to train on a specific protocol. So this is how we do our office meetings. Over the years, we did office meetings. They often became complaint sessions, and then that would just go into a whole group of dialogue, and it was very difficult often to be productive during a meeting. So we have a sheet of paper. So take a sheet of paper down, and the first part of your meeting is going to be old business. Now, what I tell you to do, make it real simple. You don't have to type notes and spend a lot of time on this. Just get a 3-ring binder, and you're going to take a sheet of paper. You're going to put old business, okay? You're going to put case review, and you're going to put training. That's all you're going to do, okay? And then you date it on the top, and then you just keep those in your 3-ring folder. And you can, you know, put a tag in there to go month to month or however you want to do it. We don't. We just have it listed with the dates and just put them in chronological order, okay? So that being said, we're going to do old business. Old business 10, no more than 15 minutes. Try to keep that session shorter. But old business is, and new business, I should say old business, new business, is a brief portion of your meeting, the first part of the meeting, not the last part. Trust me, they'll always make the first part where the complaints are gonna come out, the frustrations are gonna come out. We're gonna talk about new things to try, new ideas on how to try something. You're not gonna change the whole office in a meeting, okay? But hey, what did we talk about last week? Well, you just go back to the folder. This is what we talked about last week or 2 weeks ago. How are we doing on that? You know, and did that work? Those ideas, you know, that new staff member, that new procedure, the new protocol, how's that working for us? We can go over stats if you want, whatever, and then you can go over new business. Okay, this is what we want to do new. This is what we want to encourage in the practice now. This is a new procedure that we want to work on, and this is what we really need to focus on. These are some goals that we want to meet. Whatever. That's all going to be handled in the 10, no more than 15-minute session of the office. Now the next session is going to be case review. What's a case review? That means your staff now and the doctor are going to pick, and make sure you let your staff do them, you know, a couple times a month. You're going to pick a case. That means a child, an adult, an older person. Maybe it's somebody who dropped out. Maybe it's somebody who's doing phenomenally well. Maybe it's somebody who hasn't really progressed that much. CAs, tech CAs are great people to pull these out, and we can review that case. Hey, let's talk about Bob. Bob left us. He chose to discontinue his care. Let's talk about his case. How long, here's his x-rays, here's his criteria testing. And your staff can lead that case review. What's wrong with his spine? How long did his condition take to develop in his spine? How much damage was occurring? How sick was this guy? How diseased was he? Where did we fail? Where could we have done a better job? Maybe we couldn't have done anything else for this guy. But, it's a great time to review a case when your staff picks the case. Boy, I tell you, they get to feel part of your mission, part of your team. They get the sense, which they should every day, feel appreciated and part of your system and part of your procedures and protocols. Man, they're there taking bullets for you. And I'll tell you, they'll go that extra mile, that extra 10 miles for you if they feel part of the mission. One of the great ways to feel part of the mission is to do a case review. I keep pointing over here. This would be reflective of my X-review box. Okay, and then the last part is going to be a training. A training is going to be 10 minutes, and you're going to pick a procedure. Now, I like to do a training schedule. You can do it on a computer. You can do it on a marketing calendar, right? You got a marketing calendar. You can do a training calendar. We're going to do day 1, day 2, day 3, first missed, re-exams. We're going to do missed appointment calls, tracer calls, call to schedule calls. Great time to do call trainings is before the holidays, before the summer, so that when you come into the summer, you got a well-oiled machine, a well-trained staff. That's the way to do it. If you start doing it during that time, they're learning as you're doing it. So to really preempt it, if you will, to be very preventative on it, you want to do that training before that season. So just to give you some ideas, I know we talked about that over the year. That's how your meeting will go. Now, the meeting should take place every single week. The meeting should take place every single week. Certainly, there's going to be some times where a meeting may be missed, but overall, holidays and so forth. But overall, you should be having, 44 to 50 meetings every year. Another problem that I've changed in our meetings is years ago, we used to have everyone sit in a conference room. Everybody's sitting down, their legs are up, and that's a horrible meeting. I'm telling you right now, we don't do our meetings that way. We do our meetings standing up now. And what we do is everyone take their break, 1 o'clock, quarter after 1, they take their break, and then right at 2:15, we start the meeting. My staff knows, being on time is late, early is on time. I want everybody there. We stand at the front desk, we'll stand over by one of the TVs, and feet aren't up, people aren't, playing and talking and so forth. We're gonna really be engaged. So we're gonna stand up, the energy's high, and we're gonna talk about some specific issues. In the office, we're gonna go through that sheet. One of my staff, which is Mary Ross, who handles our meeting notes. So she does the meeting notes. She's great, and she handles the meeting notes every week. And then the rest of the staff, like I said, stands around, and we'll talk. Sometimes it's just verbally about a case. Sometimes it's just verbally about procedures and office procedures. Sometimes our training is more of a discussion. But there's always something that we're talking about, so the staff is growing. Now, to parallel that, try, if you can be somewhat organized, try to have your huddles have a theme that's consistent with the meeting topic of the week. Maybe it's the case review. Maybe you got a guy that has Parkinson's that you're doing a case review. So talk about that during your team huddles in the morning or afternoon. Talk about certain procedures and protocols that you're working on in the team meeting. You could talk about it in the team huddle. So not only are they getting it Wednesday, but they're getting it Monday, Wednesday, Thursday morning, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday afternoon. Through some minutes and so forth. And then sometimes during the break time, we might do a 5-minute or 6-minute training and so forth. This will really help you out. They need to be done consistently. One of the problems, I think we all know this as doctors, as chiropractors, but we think intensity is going to win out over consistency. Never the case. It's better to eat good all the time than to eat good for one day. It's better to get adjusted regularly than have one great Atlas adjustment, right? It's great to work out regularly than work out once or twice really hard, right? So it's good to have consistent team meetings rather than have this, what I see with a lot of offices, they do a reactionary meeting. Okay, everything's falling apart. All right, let's have a meeting. Let's get together. Boom, boom, boom. And it's really intense. But what are they really walking away from? And you end up reprimanding and yelling, and you come out frustrated. That's not the way to manage. That's not the way to lead your team in a huddle or certainly during a meeting. Okay, guys, take the theme of this holiday. That Easter, that resurrection, that rebirth, that regenesis, and start to carry that energy into your practice. on a regular basis. And I really believe that by doing so, and by carrying that theme and those thoughts, I really think your practice will drive in a great direction. One of the great ways to have a rebirth or resurrection in your practice are those team meetings and how important they are. So try a simple format. We run a real high volume practice, highly successful practice, yet we still use a very simple format. And I, KISS, right? Keep it simple, stupid. So just keep it simple. There's so much management, so many things, so many balls to juggle, so many plates to spin. If you keep those meetings simple, well written, nice and neat meetings, and then you keep them in that 3-ring folder, I'll tell you that's probably all you have to do. And then you keep some level of organization on your calendar for trainings. And designate that to a staff. Hey, you're going to handle the theme, you're going to handle the notes, you're going to handle the the topics of trainings and so forth. And it's wonderful. We talked about that on the huddles too. Have your staff pick different topics for the huddles, and it's just great. Okay, guys, it's been a great few minutes talking to you. Have a great week. We've got a great training coming up. It's going to be on May 13th and 14th, and it's going to be in Philadelphia. And in Philadelphia, we're hoping to have one of our biggest meetings ever. It's going to be an awesome, life-changing event. We are going to go over day-to-day nuts and bolts of practice. We're going to go over things that create enthusiasm in your practice. We're going to talk about philosophy, art, and science. We always have a great speaker that comes in and really nails it. This time we're going to have Dr. Tom Colton, who's a functional neurologist, chiropractic based. He just blows your mind with the neurology and the evidence that's out there. So it really hits us hard on the science. I'm really excited. I hope you're really excited. I hope to see you there. And guys, remember, get out there and serve. Talk chiropractic. Share chiropractic. Talk to people all day long about what the adjustment is and what organ's being affected and what area of the nervous system is being affected by their subluxation, where there's sickness, disease, and illness developing in your body, how your adjustment prevents that, why their children need to be in, why the babies need to be in. Have fun, enjoy, get out and serve chiropractic. Hopefully I see you guys in Philadelphia. Have a great week serving. I'll talk to you guys next week.
My best friend